who would you take for the MVP?
Oh man, I'll give it a Cade, and not because of like there's obviously no voter fatigue on a guy like Wemby, but just looking forward, and he's gonna have his opportunities that should have no say in this year. But realistically, I think Cade is a guy like when I watch the games, yeah, Celtics, I love Jaylen Brown, my favorite player. But when I watch the games lately, Jaylen Brown has been a key cog of how we play and how we operate and stuff like that. But over the course of the year it's kind of been like, oh, Jaylen Brown, go get us a bucket. All right, let's see what we do on this play. We need a bucket. Go to Jaylen Brown. We're kind of trapped. Go to Jaylen Brown. Whereas I feel like Cade comes up court and it's like, okay, we're running the ball offense through him, kind of like SGA. He's not just taking a bunch of shots. He is kind of the centerpiece of how they run the whole game plan.
Yep.
So I feel like he has a little more weight on his shoulders than a Jaylen Brown, even though Jaylen Brown's acting in a sense of covering, replacing Jason Tatum and having to do more. And there's a rebuild and shock factor for themselves. They still being good. I'll give the edge to Cade. If somebody wants to go Wemby, I get it. But for now, I like the Spurs balance, and I really believe in the team, not just because of him, but just how they play as a team. They have that Pistons defensive thing going on as well. They're a very good balanced team. Maybe not so much offensively, but I love De'Aaron Fox. I just think they have a little more help across the board, even though they're not perceived as a team to than Detroit does. I like Jalen Duran, but I just think roster wise, the Spurs are a little more balanced and than the Celtics and the maybe not so much Boston anymore with Vooch, but the Celtics and the Pistons. So in all of that, I would go with Cade. He'd get my vote today.
Yeah, you took all the statements right out of my mouth for real. But the one thing that I wanna say is I like to plug in and plug out certain players on certain teams when it comes to the NBA MVP, right? So if you take Kate Cunningham and you put him on the Celtics, and you take JB and you put him on the Pistons, I think the Celtics will be number one. While right now the Celtics are number three, number four. I
Number
forgot
two, right?
number something like that. They're still at
Yeah,
the top.
I think we're two. We need to be two. I want us in
Okay, you
there.
two. Let me not disrespect you. Let me not disrespect y'all. Y'all number
Barely,
two,
but we're two.
or
Yeah.
number two right now, right? If you put JB on the Pistons, I think with the team, the roster that they have, I think the Pistons would be in play-in contention. If you put Cade,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. If you put Cade on the Celtics, I think they will be number one. But obviously, the number two, they're not that far behind. But with the roster construction is what I'm saying, right? Like with the players that Cade has around him right now, it's really tough for them to be relevant if Cade wasn't on that team. Throw in JB there. Yes, he's going to help them get more wins 100%. But do I see them being a number two seed right now where the Celtics are at with the roster that they have? Not with the roster that the Celtics have, with the roster that the Pistons have. I wouldn't see them at the number two spot in my eyes. Victor Wembanyama definitely deserves the award, Defensive Player of the Year as well. I think those two go hand in hand this season. But I agree with you there. I think that team is well rounded, better than the Pistons, better than the Celtics right now at this point, defensively and offensively. That yeah, they should be where they're at right now. A lot of people are surprised. Honestly, I don't know why they're surprised. They look great together as a unit. They move the ball, they attack the basket, they shoot the three ball. Defensively, obviously, Victor Wembanyama is that rim protector, but on the perimeter, they play great defensively as well. Not a lot of teams are scoring so high on them when you really watch the games and look at the stats. Nikola Jokic here, obviously, he's always in contention for the MVP. I think this season a little bit more less with the games that he's missed. Obviously, he could miss one more to for his eligibility to be still standing. He could just miss one more. But the way that the Denver Nuggets have been playing, yeah, they're still a good team. They're in the middle of the pack when it comes to the Western Conference playoffs right now. But I don't think that they're so great compared to the Spurs, compared to the Timberwolves right now in this long stretch for the last 15 games. You know, I just don't see that the Denver Nuggets are at that level yet. Maybe in the next 20 games and going into the postseason, yeah, maybe there will be. Jokic for sure, he deserves the MVP, but that comes with voter fatigue as well. And I just don't think that the way that they've been playing together as unit and the amount of wins that they have, I don't think that he deserves it more than Victor Wembanyama, than Kate Cunningham, and then JB at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jokic is going to be he's going to be in every conversation every single year, and it should be. And I know they're not necessarily a regular season kind of roster where they're going to be a top 2 team and impress you with a ton of wins and stuff. That's not their thing. They just want to get in healthy, trying to float around the 4 to 5 seed if they can. They're not too home court dependent. But yeah, I think with that setback in that little bit of dynamic, and you have other people amongst the same kind of stature, stats, and elevating their team, the elevating your team part in the regular season body work has to be more important, especially if he's around the fringe of missing that many games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.